Добрый день, дорогие друзья. Воскресенье, в эфире наш
Drago Borato
and it's the time of our weekly Sunday webinar. Together with me in the studio is Kabbalist Dr. Michael Laitman, Alexander Tashayev, people who are all parts of the Academy of Kabbalah, and we're going to learn from the article "There is none else besides him." We went through about a third of the article last time, and let us now continue where we left off. Please prepare questions and send them to us. You can ask through the same channels you're watching, YouTube, Facebook, and we will answer. Dr. Laitman. Yes, we will continue the article. First, we will remind about what we talked about in the last lesson, and then we'll continue. It's a fundamental article. It's simply unique. It surrounds and includes all of our attitude to the upper force, meaning to our lives, to what happens to us, how we need to understand this life, how we should depict and grasp life correctly. It's all discussed in this article. So it is said that there is none else besides him, meaning that there is no other force than the Creator, that only he manages and controls everything. And if a person sees that there are other forces other than this one force, opposed forces, different forces, that is done on purpose, from the beginning, in order to help a person fall and deviate from that intention where there is only one force, and afterwards, on the contrary, to strengthen in that one intention that there is only one force. The matter is that precisely thanks to that in which a person is directed at the Creator and then is thrown away and rejected from that direction through different methods, so a person starts understanding that it all comes from the Creator, and as such he connects himself to the Creator completely. It's quite complicated, it takes place over many years, but in any case our entire lives are organized such that we would be able to find the uniqueness of the Creator, to reveal it, and therefore we discover that anew every time. There is none else besides him is the principal commandment that a person has been given in this world, and it is all organized in order to reject the person from that direction, from that force that controls him. And the benefit of the rejections is that a person understands that he's incapable completely to focus on the Creator, and he cannot hold that in which all these disturbances come from the Creator. He cannot remain in the intention that it all directs to the Creator, everything that's happening to him. And in the end, he becomes desperate. He doesn't know what to do. He reaches such a state, precisely thanks to that negative side of the Creator that throws him from one side to the other, as if that there are other forces, problems, diseases, anything that there is. Only that it doesn't come from the Creator. In order that a person, against all those actions, he awakens above them and grasps the Creator. So only through true overcoming upon all the obstacles can a person overcome those phenomena. But he always sees that there are more interferences, more obstacles. And it's a wonder that we feel in our lives that everything comes from the Creator, and it's rare that we feel that everything comes from the Creator and everything leads to Him. Maybe that thought comes to him maximum for a few minutes during the day, even if we think about that at all. And if we don't think about that, then days can pass, maybe weeks, even years, and even one's whole life, where a person is simply not directed at the Creator. However, if a person tries constantly to create around himself this society, such conditions, an environment where above his own forces it will urge him to come closer to the Creator, then he really will be able to hold on to him and not let him go, to really beg the Creator to be connected to him. And he would hold onto the Creator in order to be directed at the Creator in relation to all those phenomena that happened to him during his life, meaning to beg and request the Creator to open his eyes, to open his heart, in order that he will feel in his heart and see in his eyes before him that he is engaging only with the Creator, and that only the Creator directs the person and manipulates the person and rejects the person, meaning everything that happens with a person takes place from a single source. It is neither good nor bad. Firstly, it's one force. And afterward, when a person starts understanding the thought of creation, then he can already appreciate and measure that force, that positive force. And then he starts understanding that all those rejections that he received them only in order to not remain satisfied with some small connection with the Creator, but in order for him to really attain such states where there is nothing else in the world, neither death, but only adhesion with the Creator. And then he comes to a very clear demand to the Creator, so that the Creator can help him, and only the Creator can help him, and give him such forces that can connect him to the Creator eternally. And all those disturbances that he felt previously, which appeared to him as disturbances, as if he was unable to overcome them, which he hated. Now he understands that they were sent to him by the Creator himself. And all those disturbances appeared in him precisely in order to reject him, but in fact they came to bring him closer to the Creator. Precisely thanks to those disturbances, he was able to work against them in order to connect with the Creator more and more until he comes to complete adhesion. And the Creator measures those disturbances very precisely, because he sends precise individual obstacles to each and every person that he rejects, and then every person who overcomes and rises upon those rejections comes closer to the Creator. That all takes place in order for a person to understand that there is no other force in the world than the Creator. It all takes place. There is one force that executes all that, meaning there is no negative force in the world, only a positive force. The negative force is the person himself, and around him is only the Creator who bestows the positive force to us alone. And if we look at all that correctly, then we have no problems. And we progress only on that line of increasing closeness to the Creator. There is one more aspect of uniqueness here in the wisdom of Kabbalah, in relation to philosophies and methods and other sciences. When a person starts understanding that he has no free choice, none at all, he has no control on what takes place with him, different thoughts and desires surface in him, thoughts in his mind, desires in his heart. He is not in control of that at all. The Creator controls all of that. The Creator is inside a person, controlling the mind and heart of the person in his thoughts and desires. And the person himself can do nothing about that. He can only establish and determine upon everything happening to him that all those things have a single source. It is a single higher, upper force.
If a
person acts correctly or incorrectly, he needs to understand that it's not him who acts that way, but the Creator brings him through various actions. And therefore a person has no sins in this world. There are no sins, no transgressions. There is only one thing in this world. Everything is created in order to discover the uniqueness of the Creator. And the person needs to reach that state.
Все его переживания о том, что все происходит от Творца, а что же зависит от человека.
And everything he is concerned about in terms of what depends on him, if everything comes from the Creator, that's incorrect. A person doesn't need to be concerned about himself. He doesn't need to be afraid for himself. He needs to be detached from himself and feel himself above himself. And only then, when he becomes remote from himself in the correct way, can he recognize the control of the Creator, the single control of the Creator. That's about half of the article. Maybe we'll go to some questions, because now we've gone through all those things in 10 minutes. So a request from you friends, questions. Boris, please put your question marks up, anyone who's connected with us virtually. In the meantime, we'll ask from the internet. Sasha. Alexei from Kiev is asking, in order to grasp the Creator in my desire, I need to depict him as the best source of pleasures and the solution to all problems, even egoistically? Dr. Laitman, I need to depict him in no way but as the single source. Even to what I now think and decide, it all comes from the Creator. Even in that I feel myself as existing, that also comes from the Creator. Question. Victor from Kharkov is asking, how can my thought be connected to contact the Creator as the source of everything, even though I don't attain Him? Dr. Laitman, because I am inside the Creator. There is none else besides Him means that everything that I now do, think, say, all comes from Him, through me, and I can only recognize that everything happening to me is all done by the Creator. Question. Julia from Moscow is asking, what are the obstacles on the path to attaining the upper force, the single upper force controlling everything? Dr. Laitman. Obstacles are not really obstacles. They are rather help from above. It is a state in which I need to overcome some imprecisions, doubts, confusions that I have in order to direct myself precisely at the Creator. But those are not obstacles. On the contrary, it is help. I am aimed in a correct manner. Almata, question. Question. Hello, Dr. Laitman. This is the question. Can you say that the Creator has some kind of logic, some law in relation to the outside, and on the inside it's emotions, irrational, and when these two extremes connect, that is the connection with the Creator? Thank you. Dr. Laitman. You could say now, however you depict it, now. And I wouldn't want to break that perception you have and tell you how I see the things. The Creator is the single, sole-acting force on everything and everyone. That is the Creator. What else could you say? I don't know. You cannot say much about the Creator because this material, as if you could call it that, this essence includes within itself everything. Everything, even that I'm speaking to you now and you're hearing that and you're thinking about something, that all takes place as a result of that one force of nature called the Creator. Other than that force, nothing exists. We are in a world and we are parts of that force. Moreover, we have this blindness, this restriction of our sensations and thoughts such that we won't feel Him. We can reveal Him out of a lack of sensation of Him, because then we turn into being existing. That's how I exist, that's how the world exists, and I receive that entire world as the expression, the revelation of the Creator toward me. And in such a way, I need to aim myself at the perception of that world, of that inclusive force that is everywhere. And when I direct myself in such a way, I suddenly start feeling that I change, resembling that force of the Creator. That is the state that we need to reach. In other words, what does it mean that the purpose of creation is to attain equivalence, resemblance to the Creator? It is that I, against all the obstacles that He places before me, between us and between those obstacles, against all those obstacles, I attain Him, I discover Him as the one unique, unified force acting in reality that fills the creation, and then I come into adhesion with Him, into that same state, meaning the uniqueness of the Creator is that since He created this wonderful force and this detachment from Him, it is only in order that we can, from the outside, from afar, to understand, reveal, and feel Him. Are there any other questions? No? Yes? Alexander, yes, there are many questions. They're constantly coming more. Genia from New York is asking, if the Creator is inside the person and outside the person, then through His work can you come to know the Creator Himself, through that work inside and outside? Dr. Laitman, no, our work is called the work of God. It is the work of the Creator, because we do not reveal Him personally, but the form by which He becomes expressed. That form itself is what we attain. The Creator, in and of Himself, is called Atzmuto, His essence. And it's like a child who reveals his mother only in how she reveals herself to him. And that's how we are in relation to the Creator. We cannot attain the Creator, Him in and of Himself, but only out of His attitude towards us. And therefore we call Him Creator, in Hebrew, Boreh, come and see. That force that creates us, but it's all in relation to us. But He, in and of Himself, we cannot depict that in any way possible. We have no vessels for that. The wisdom of Kabbalah explains that. It is not ashamed to explain to us its limitations. Question. So you could say that each person has his own Creator. Dr. Laitman, yes, you could say that each person has his own Creator. Question. Now we have this broadcast on Facebook, 2 questions there. Irina and another person is asking the same question. All the bad things are also from the Creator? Wars, diseases? Dr. Laitman, everything comes from the Creator. And what appears to us as bad actions, not beneficial, something terrible, it is all due to us not correcting our perception in relation to those actions so that we could see them as being different in the quality of bestowal, So then we start seeing them as being good when we do correct our perception in relation to them. In Riga, someone there is yearning to ask a question.
Здравствуйте, Михаил. У меня такой вопрос. То есть, если кто есть Творец, то, по сути, духовный рост — это достижение Творцом Творца?
When you grow spiritually, do you reveal the Creator through the Creator? Dr. Laitman, we do not deal with that nonsense. We're speaking about the Creator. We're talking about the person who attains the Creator and in no other way.
Здравствуйте. Вопрос такой. Можем ли мы искать Творца вне каббалистической группы?
Can we seek the Creator not in the group, but in the external world? Dr. Laitman, how? Answer. How can you find him outside of the group? With what vessels, with what actions? In what way, in what direction of your investigation? Where would you find him? Well, answer. Plovdiv.
У нас идет звук на иврите, мы не слышим русский язык.
Question. We are hearing Hebrew, we're not hearing Russian. Dr. Laitman, why are they hearing Hebrew? Why are you hearing Hebrew?
Я не знаю, когда мы задаем вопрос, потом
Question.
вылезает одно окошко, и мы слышим только то, что вам переводят на иврите. Мы не слышим на русском перевод или на болгарском. Не знаю, почему так получается.
Ну-ка, иди проверь.
They're asking a question we do not hear. Dr. Laitman, please check with the broadcast what's going on there.
А? Проверяют? Как это может быть, что они слышат на иврите в Польше?
How could it be that they're hearing Hebrew over there in Plovdiv?
А вы заявляете об этом сразу же.
I hope that it'll work it out.
Днепр.
Don't just sit there if there's a problem. Make sure you report it. Dnieper.
Не слышно. Да.
Физическую
Yes, we hear
природу
you.
имеет процесс
Question.
мышления. К сожалению, он плохо
What
работает.
physical nature,
Физическую природу имеет процесс мышления. Полевую
What
или
physical nature
молекулярный обмен клеток головного мозга.
is
Или
in
это
the
процесс
process of thought? Molecular, or is it like a field, or is it something electrical between?
Никакого к тому, что мы с вами говорим.
Dr. Laitman, it's not connected to anything to what we're speaking about. There is no connection to what we're now discussing. We are talking about how we
Каким образом это происходит в нас внутри, с какими носителями.
receive the Creator and how the Creator within us, whether it is some field
Это не имеет значения.
or some molecular substance, it doesn't matter.
Результат
We are speaking about an outcome.
в нас, как ощущение
The outcome needs to be within us as the sensation of unity of the force that surrounds us that we are in, as
вот такое
an embryo inside the womb.
ощущение окружающей нас
This is
единства,
the sensation that we need to attain. The sensation
полностью управляющей
of that one force that surrounds us and which controls us and manages us completely. That is the revelation of the Creator to a person.
Мысль воспринимать как процесс на уровне поля, тогда
Question, but if you acknowledge a thought as a process kind of like a field, then, Dr. Laitman, I don't want to get into such scrutinies.
учили, и теперь вы хотите привести.
You learned something somewhere, and now you want to
Не советую этого делать.
connect
Вы и там будете
Kabbalistic knowledge to your own knowledge. I don't recommend you do that. You will get confused there, and you'll also get confused here.
самое наилучшее.
Receive the information as it's taught. That is the best way.
Только что закончилась вводная
Question.
беседа в городе Николаеве, там собралось 40 человек. Они только что
We finished an introductory lecture in Nikolaev. 40 people came there. For the first time, they got to know the wisdom of Kabbalah. We cannot see them. They have no camera, but they're asking question there. I thought I managed my life, but you're saying that everything comes from the Creator. How can I check that, Dr. Laitman? To check that,
Человек, если он присматривается к своей жизни, то он видит,
a
что
person, if he pays attention to his life and he looks at it,
ему кажется, что вот
so he sees that he doesn't manage anything, even though it appears to him that he does,
его поступки были такие,
that he has done some actions,
только лишь кажется, и постоянно находится в сомнениях.
It only appears to him that way, and with a doubt,
Единственная сила, которая управляет всеми,
he can check that the Creator is the single force managing everything.
методики раскрытия Творца. То, что мы с вами сейчас начинаем изучать. И вам это
Check that only according to the method of the wisdom of Kabbalah, what we'll get into soon, and then it will reveal to you. But it reveals according to the method that we discussed, which is the revelation through that in which you are opposed to the uniqueness of the Creator, and then accordingly you will feel the revelation of the light on the background of darkness, and gradually you will reach that in which there is only one force managing us. Tbilisi.
გაუჩვენოთ რა დამოკიდებულება აქვს ადამიანს შემოქმედის მიმართ.
Здравствуйте. Какое отношение имеет Творец к человеку?
What is the connection between the Creator and a person? Dr. Laitman. There is a very special, very direct form of attitude. The Creator created the still vegetative animate and the human being that we are in. And the Creator manages all the degrees of that nature, still vegetative animate speaking. Out of that entire nature, they all exist in order to support the nature of a person. And human nature itself also divides into four parts, still vegetative, animate, and speaking, within the speaking level, within the nature of the person. So that final degree, the person within the person, or speaking within the speaking degree, it feels the necessity to reveal the Creator, the need to reveal the Creator. And the rest of the degrees, that doesn't exist there, that final part of the development of desire. There is only the still part of a person, the vegetative part of the person, and the animate part of the person. Those parts don't feel the need to reveal the Creator. It doesn't concern them. They live calmly, an animalistic style of life. And those where the desire develops to the human level or the speaking level, so then he feels the need to reveal the force that's motivating him, that's moving him. And such people are those who come to us. Those are the people who we see here on the screens, usually. Continuing, Nur Sultan, question.
Добрый вечер, Раф.
Good evening.
Добрый вечер, мировой Кли. Вопрос. Творец находится нужно просить Творца.
The Creator is between us. Do we need to request from the Creator our own correction or the correction of the entire ten, the world Kli? And the second question, does the Creator hear me in every place or only through the ten? Dr. Laitman, the Creator feels the created being, not the person, but the general created being, only to the extent that the created being resembles him, resembles that quality of the Creator to bestow. The quality of the person to receive, when he's in that quality, he doesn't feel the Creator. We don't feel that quality on ourselves. If the person has this desire, if that desire appears in the person to reveal the Creator, then he can execute that, but only if he builds the conditions for that. For that, he needs to come to the group, connect with friends, and start working seriously on connection in the group. If he will do what he needs to do, meaning he'll connect to the group, then in that case, he will start feeling the Creator through the 10. In other words, as much as the person integrates in the 10, he'll be able to feel connection with the Creator, but not in any other way.
Это был Нур-Султан. Ну и дальше пойдем.
A question from Nur-Sultan.
Трансляция идет
No
на
more from
главном канале
Nur-Sultan.
Международной
More
академии
questions?
Каббала.
Alexander,
И
we have
довольно-таки
broadcast
широкая публика.
on the main channel of the Academy of Kabbalah, and many people who registered through the channel, or many people who came here. So there's all kinds of questions coming in. For example, one of the questions is there a direct and happy direction to the Creator? Dr. Laitman, through the group, through the studies, with everyone. That is the easiest way. I wouldn't say it's relatively easy, but it's easy. Another question, why did the Creator not create such a system without suffering, so that we would become fulfilled with pleasures, or would get bored, and then we'd come to Him? Dr. Laitman, try to do that. Who's disturbing you from doing that? The Creator didn't create suffering. Your egoism creates suffering, in that it wants to receive everything now and for free.
У нас, как и у нас была знакомительная встреча, свыше 30
We had an introductory lecture here, more than 30 people, and those remained who wanted even more answers. In the meantime, there are no questions. This is in northern Lithuania. Dr. Laitman says, yes, I know, I was there many times. So maybe help us. We are a Catholic country, and this question always appears. What is sin? You already answered that we have nothing to be ashamed of from our desires, from our qualities. But in any case, this concept of sin, it exists in religion and in Kabbalah in relation to the Creator. Could you define this concept of sin in Kabbalah? What is sin according to Kabbalah? We know it's connected to the Creator, but can you define it more clearly? Dr. Laitman, the wisdom of Kabbalah speaks about it very simply. Every action which is bad in relation to others, other people, or not even other people, but the still vegetative and animate nature, every egoistic action outside of the person toward the external world is sin. And it's a much worse sin than a sin in relation to the Creator. Meaning a person needs to be afraid and be cautious to cause bad to someone, even to cause bad to nature, the surrounding nature. He needs to be concerned that everything around him is the revelation of the Creator toward him, and he needs to relate equally to the still vegetative, animate, and human nature, and accept all that as his relationship to the Creator. And in no other way can you have a attitude to the Creator different to the attitude of a person surrounding him, or his attitude to the surrounding world. You can talk a lot about that, and there are many articles about that in the Wisdom of Kabbalah, but in short, that's how it works. MacVG. It's the Academy of Kabbalah virtual group. MacVG. We don't hear you.
Ну ладно, если они не могут подключиться.
Да, здравствуйте, Раф.
Да.
Здравствуйте, Раф.
Question from MacVG. Hello, Dr. Laitman. This is the question. If the Creator is in absolute rest, do you hear me? Dr. Laitman, yes, we hear you. Question.
смотрит долго.
Ну, говорите.
Dr. Laitman, speak.
И у него отсутствует хисарон.
Question. If the Creator is in absolute rest and he has no deficiency, Dr. Laitman, please speak without stopping. There is a delay.
Если Творец находится в абсолютном покое,
Question. If the Creator is in absolute rest,
тогда как назвать его состояние, когда он пожелал сотворить
so
творение?
how could you say that he wanted to create creations? Dr. Laitman, everything is outside of the boundaries of time. We're speaking about energetic degrees. The wisdom of Kabbalah describes that.
Ну вот, например,
Question.
Виктория Хенкин спрашивает, если человек старается за
There's a
всем
question
видеть
here.
Творца,
If
значит
a
ли это, что он
person
находится
tries to
в
see the
подобном
Creator in
состоянии,
everything, does it
получается,
mean that he is in connection with the Creator and he receives the influence from the upper force? If he tries to see the Creator everywhere? Dr. Laitman, no. That is considered as him being directed at the Creator, but it doesn't mean that he sees him and feels him. That could be his flawed vision. To see the Creator can only be done through a specific instrument that you need to build. It's attain, 10 people whom you connect with together as one whole in your desires and thoughts in order to attain the Creator. The entire 10 needs to annul its entire egoism in order to be one whole, and then in that central point in their connection, they can start feeling him. In other words, you need to, as if, build this lens, this additional lens, which contains 4 lenses in the center, and then through that focus, you'll be able to see the Creator. You have no other way of doing that. So if you want to, for instance, pray to the Creator, you need to do that through the 10. If you want to feel the Creator, you need to do that all through the 10. The Creator feels no less than a 10. 10 people connected, directed at the Creator, is the instrument through which we can start revealing the Creator.
Еще такой вопрос тоже.
Question.
Смотрит трансляцию на Фейсбуке Николай Бровкин. А чем плохо жить без веры в Творца?
Нет, неплохо.
Why is it bad to live without faith in the Creator? Dr. Laitman. It's not bad. Kabbalah doesn't say that it's bad. It doesn't force people to believe in the Creator, to pray to the Creator. It doesn't speak about needing to do that. Only if a person feels a need, if he sees that he has no other way but to reveal the Creator, to adhere to Him. Only in that way can the person act. And the person has free choice in all that. There is no coercion in spirituality. Only if a person wants, so then he comes to the group. If he wants, he remains. If he doesn't want, then he leaves. But in no way is he forced, or does he owe anyone anything? Medellin. Question.
Medellin.
Buenas, Rab.
Buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenos días, Clima Mundial. La pregunta que nos surgió es, ¿cómo es el proceso para crear las vasijas para la revelación del Creador?
Перевели этот вопрос. Как я создаю килим, сосуды для...
Question was, how do we build vessels in order to be in connection with the Creator? Dr. Laitman. Precisely in the 10. When you connect with friends as one whole, then your connection of 10 people together is what brings you to such a state of resemblance to the qualities of the Creator. And then between you, you have this equality, and the Creator will start becoming revealed among you. Krasnodar, question. Hello. A question from the EVGE group. If a person knows that everything comes from the Creator and he feels that influence as bad, how can you balance such states? Because it turns out that outside the egoism of a person cannot do anything. Dr. Laitman, yes, it's clear, it's very good, it's correct. If a person feels bad in his life and simultaneously he cannot say that there is none else besides him, that is a sign that it all comes from the Creator. So what does he need to do? He needs to transform himself so much so that instead of bad, he would feel good, and that is possible. And the Creator doesn't just play with a person with something good. On the contrary, He makes for a person all kinds of states which give a person an ability and an opportunity to feel the Creator through good and bad states. And from the bad states, you can come to the revelation of the Creator quicker than through the good states, because the bad states would push you there. Sochi, question. Hello, Dr. Laitman. Could you say, in this webinar, if I hold my attain in my mind, does that connect us more? So, for example, what does my attitude need to be in this group that is in the classroom right now, where everything starts from the 10? Dr. Laitman, in every action you need to connect your 10 so that among you, you find the Creator connecting you.
Пока никого, да? С YouTube Анастасия спрашивает. Встречая помехи...
From YouTube, Anastasia is asking.
Как применить знание?
When we meet disturbances on the path, how can we activate the knowledge that there is none else besides Him? Dr. Laitman.
Раскрытие Творца. Когда мы...
That is exactly where the revelation of the Creator is. That is, when we feel His influence as negative in our lives and we have no idea what to do, how to behave, how we can paint our lives with that revelation of the Creator. I feel all kinds of negative forces acting on me. Exactly here, a person has the opportunity, in the most direct way possible, to discover the Creator as acting correctly, positively, directing the person to the goal. The goal is in that a person would accept everything in the world as there is none else besides him, and in such a way he would gradually reveal the Creator, where other than there is none else besides him, he is good that does good. Meaning the Creator is good that does good, in addition to there is none else besides him. Precisely through all the negative things we feel, it pushes us in the quickest way possible to the revelation of the Creator. Pay attention. If with the help of negative sensations you aim to be directed at the Creator, that He is giving those to you, why is He giving those to you? What for? Why such a negative feeling? What does it give you? Why do you need to rise above it? How much do you become remote from your egoism through that? And precisely in such ascent, you become closer to the Creator. Try to act that way. Those are the best states.
он посылает ему именно вот такие вот
And that a
проблемные
person,
состояния.
and that the Creator loves a person, He sends the person problematic states. But it's not like in religion. With us, it's in order to discover the Creator as good in those states, as one who directs us correctly.
Дальше нет у нас ничего, да?
Александр из России спрашивает, всегда ли прорыв в высший мир
Alexander from Russia
происходит
is
через
asking,
огромные потрясения?
Это не огромные
is the entrance to the spiritual world always through great big disturbances?
выходит за уровень десятки.
It's not great big disturbances, Dr. Laitman. If you're in the 10,
Связь между собой, как собирательную линзу, внутри
you
которой
always need to focus on that connection as this additional lens where through it you will reveal the Creator. And then nothing is fearful and you are in a spiritual state.
не волнуйтесь.
So don't worry.
Страданий, никаких особых переживаний здесь нет. Это все является лишь
There's no special suffering or anything too exciting in that. It is all a methodical game of the Creator in order to direct you to Him so that you will reveal Him. Novosibirsk.
Новосибирск.
Novosibirsk.
Здравствуйте, дорогой раб. А возможно ли вот при условии, что нет никого кроме него, какое-то воздействие на нами, на Творца, ультиматумы поставить? Или ты меня исправляешь?
There is none else besides Him. Can we influence Him? Can we give Him an ultimatum where either you correct me or I won't receive anything from you? Can you act in such a way toward Him? Dr. Laitman, that a person puts an ultimatum toward the Creator?
Чтобы человек
Yes.
выставил условия Творцу, что если ты не будешь со мной обращаться так-то и так-то, то я от тебя отвернусь. Не
You can
буду
put a
признавать
condition to the Creator. If you don't act toward me in such a way, so then I won't relate to you as the Creator. Try that.
Если будут проблемы, если будут
Is that possible? Dr. Laitman. If there would be problems,
Далее.
turn to me.
Маквиджи. Попробуем еще раз.
MacVG. Let's try again.
Меняю себя перед десяткой. Какое воздействие
When I
Творца я должен ощущать?
annul to the 10, what influence from the Creator should I feel? Dr. Laitman.
Какое воздействие Творца я должен ощущать? В соответствии с моими...
In annulment to the 10, what influence of the Creator should I feel? According to my changes in relation to the 10.
Чувствовать очень четко. Вы представляете,
And you will feel that very precisely.
фокусирующем таком зеркале, как в...
Imagine to yourself that you're in this,
Как называется еще по-русски?
Да.
you're in this parabolic mirror.
Параболическое такое зеркало, которое собирает в себя все лучи.
This mirror that includes within itself
В которой вы меняетесь относительно
all the rays from the 10. You are the 10 and you change
этого устройства, которое
according to how you change in relation to the friends. As such, you would change that instrument.
чтобы между собой раскрыть Творца.
Варна.
Where you, between you, will reveal the Creator.
Варна.
That's what needs to happen to you. Varna.
Слышно?
Да.
Здравствуйте, Рав. Слышно? Да.
You hear?
Почему
Laitman, yes. Question.
10 свойства и как нам, когда начинать осуществлять эти 10 свойств?
Вы начнете ощущать Творца, как только вы соединитесь.
Why 10 qualities and how can we feel these 10 qualities? Dr. Laitman, you would start feeling the Creator the moment when you connect in a minimal extent.
Чуть-чуть соединились вся десятка.
However, you come to a state where you connected the 10 together a little bit, then immediately in that connection you will immediately start feeling the upper force. Question. And does that depend on everyone in the 10? Dr. Laitman, yes. Question.
Да.
Would we start feeling that quality together? Dr. Laitman, yes.
Из Николаева поступил еще один вопрос. Татьяна спрашивает.
Question from Nikolaev. Tatiana is asking. This concept of egoism, how can we identify it? Dr. Laitman, egoism is me thinking about myself.
То есть А лучше сказать так, когда я думаю...
In other words, it's better to say, when I think not about the 10 and not about the Creator, that is egoism.
Постоянная наша
Question.
зрительница на канале и постоянная зрительница ваших вебинаров Неля Головнева спрашивает, могу ли я предполагать, что изматывающие меня
Regular in
управление
our
иметь в конце концов
webinar is asking, can I think that the providence that brings me to despair in the end is something good, Dr. Laitman? I don't think that the force that controls you makes you desperate, but you yourself bring yourself to such a state. Boris. Dr. Laitman. Yoshka Ola, are you going to ask something in the end?
Добрый день, спасибо большое. У нас был вопрос по поводу центра десятки.
Hello, thank you. We have a question about the center of the 10. Every time we come closer to that concept and then we lose it, could we explain it in more detail? The center of the 10 is that we connect in our hearts, in our points in the heart. How does that work? Dr. Laitman, the center of the 10 is this point where each one annuls himself in relation to others. When we reach that state where each 10 annuls itself toward the other, then we attain the center of this 10. And then this pleasant spiritual quality reveals, the entrance to the upper world. It's like really a miracle. It's like this transition to another dimension. It is between us. If each one annuls himself in order to be together. So that point of togetherness suddenly appears not as a point, but as a gateway, as this transition to the upper world, to the next dimension. That's what we need to do. And then everything opens before you. So we spoke with Yoshka Ola, so we're going to ask Nur Sultan again. Nur Sultan, question. Good evening, Dr. Laitman. Dr. Laitman, it's very interesting. 7 women and 1 guy. Oh, there we go, 2 guys. No, he doesn't count.
Такой вопрос. Из чего исходит потребность увидеть добро, творящего добро?
Where do we get the need to see that he is good, that does good? Dr. Laitman, the search for the Creator is built in us in that we want to feel the purpose of our existence. Why am I alive? Why has all this world been put before me? A person develops over thousands of years and then he reaches a state where he asks himself these questions. And the world, on the contrary, it's not that it just doesn't answer him, but it shows him this purposelessness. And then a person doesn't know what to do. It reaches such states where people commit suicide, abuse drugs, because a person doesn't feel what he's alive for. And then in this generation, the wisdom of Kabbalah starts becoming revealed, which describes the purpose of life, the meaning of life.
No, поневежес.
Panabhijis. We do not hear you.
Не слышно.
О, сейчас слышно.
Да.
Такой вопрос. Вот сейчас была
лекция. Question. Now we had a lecture, and it's always very difficult to understand what is Kabbalah in 1 hour. There's this feeling where it's unclear where it comes from, but you don't know how to explain Kabbalah to people who come for the first time to listen to it. How can it somewhat enter the sensation of the student, of one who comes to study? Dr. Laitman, it's impossible to pass that on just in words. A person needs to gradually explain to himself. You cannot describe it in a single sentence. Kabbalah reveals to a person the meaning of his life, why he was born, where everything is headed, how we participate in that entire process. What do we exist for? How can you influence your fate? To come quickly to the purpose of creation. That's what the wisdom of Kabbalah describes to us. It has no connection to religion, to philosophy, nothing like that. It's this separate wisdom that a person received around 6,000 years ago. And since then, it lives and develops through humanity.
Вот так мы должны его принять и постепенно освоить. Оно не обязывает.
So that's how we need to accept and learn bit by bit. It directs us nowhere but to good, to a positive connection with others, and through that positive connection with others, we discover the upper world, the Creator, and then we cannot do bad to anyone. We cannot do anything negative to anyone. And when we're in that, then there is no limitation. Everyone who wants can study. But if one wants to study seriously, then there are certain conditions. Not limitations, but conditions. How a person needs to study in order to really implement the wisdom of Kabbalah within himself. Question: what is the difference between the sensation of the Creator and the intellectual understanding that there is none else besides Him? Dr. Laitman. Intellectual understanding comes from our world. It cannot give us anything clear and beneficial. Many people over thousands of years wanted to reveal it and didn't succeed at all. So it's not worthwhile for us to engage in our own intellect and emotion in terms of how we can feel this. Let us learn this wisdom and through it attain the Creator. That is where success lies. Question. Not a question, more of an announcement. We have many events taking place in our Russian-speaking world, introductory lectures in various cities, and you can also join courses that have just begun. What's happening this week? Dr. Laitman, I apologize that I did not give everyone an opportunity to ask, but another 2 minutes are left of this lesson, and then I have another lesson with groups from all around the world, the World B'nai Baruch group. So I need to my sorrow, finish this lesson for now. Until next week, write questions in advance, and we will see you all next week. Feel good and to your success.